morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? How was your 4th of July? Um, I'm just going for a little walk this morning. It's very nice this morning, not too cold. Um, but I have a lot on my mind. And every time that I have a lot on my mind, I end up like spilling my guts to y'all and just crying because I've just been way too sensitive lately. Um, I don't like a lot of drama. Guys, it's not good for anybody's mental health, especially mine. Hi, guys. I'm doing okay. I'm awake. Woke up a little too early, which means I'll need to take a nap later. Um, but yeah, I didn't do much for 4th. I just went and looked at some fireworks because I couldn't see them sort of from my place, but I had to walk a little bit for it, but it was still nice. Um, I'll probably post a little video of that on my Instagram. How was y'all's 4th? Did you go see fireworks? Did you eat good food? Watch any TV? Um, see, what was I watching? Oh yeah, there's a new season of Oshinoko. I don't know if you guys know what Oshinoko is. What app is it on? It's not on Crunchyroll. It's on High Dive. Thank you, MD Media. Yeah, so I watch a lot of anime. And Oshinoko second season is out, and I really like that. They do a lot about like the J-pop industry. It rained here in North Ohio, so it was wet and buggy. Sorry about that. It was actually quite nice here. Um, like even at nighttime, normally it's like it's really cold, but it was actually pretty decent. Um, yeah, so I'm watching that. I'm waiting on being able to see the movie for Spy Family. What else? I'm still waiting on the second season of My Dress Up Darling. Oh, and also, I am now, because I never owned it, I want to own all the manga for Death Note. I have volume one so far. So if anybody ever wants to send me any Death Note, that's one of my favorite animes. That, My Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, and I would say Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I really like that one too. Um, if anybody likes weird anime, not that anime isn't already weird, but there's an adult one that I watched called what is it? It's not Hunter x Hunter. Oh my god, it's the wrong one. High School D and or DxD. Yeah, High School DxD. That is um quite the anime. If anybody ever wants to watch that. Let's see, I'm gonna go this way. Let me sit down for a second. um, so all I want to say quickly on everything that's happening lately is I support my friends. And even if I have issues with my friends, we try and work them out. Your 13-year-old's an anime fanatic, cool. Um, and I do not want to be a channel that talks really about the drama, talks about specific people or anything. All I have to say is that I love Liz and Laura. I've been having their backs for quite a while now, and even if I have an issue with anything that they're doing, I just want them to be happy, and they know that I want them to be happy. I'm not saying that they're like I don't have any issues right now or anything, but like if I were to have some issues, friends work things out. Um, and it's unfortunate that shitty internet people have to get involved and like make it like it's a sport. This is not a sport. This is people's lives. This isn't just influencers gone wild or something. These are human beings that have stories. I am a human being that has my own trauma and stories. Um, yeah, and I worry about everybody. That is just like, don't ever tell me not to worry because it'll just make me worry like 10 times harder. Like, I worry about everybody and I always have my entire life. Maybe it's because of my anxiety, but I care about people. Um, and even if like my worst enemy was like, I don't know, just for example, SA'd or something really horrible happened and they needed some sort of support, I try my best to be there. I guess not my worst enemy. That was probably, I don't know how many people who would help their worst enemy, but even if I don't like someone, if they're, I can be civil, and especially if other people in a community or group like that person, not everybody's going to get along. Um, Repeated victims, I want them to feel worthy and loved, so I hope I can help them feel that. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are helping them feel that. It just takes time to process when shit goes down. Um, I guess my biggest thing is the being uninvited to a funeral. I'm sorry, but that's just really shitty behavior. Like, at one of my best friend's funeral that I helped put together, even if the person that I feel was responsible for a lot of his issues, I mean, yeah, he was, his own person. He could have said no, but this person was not a good influence on them, and I do not like this person. But if they had shown up to his funeral, I'm not going to kick them out unless they're starting shit with people. Like, everybody deserves their time to grieve. And I just feel like cutting people out immediately without any sort of real discussion or compromising of any kind can happen. That's just kind of, I don't know, wrong to me. I don't know if anybody else feels that, but that just feels shitty. Um, you're taking away that person's ability to be able to grieve properly. Um, Hell, I didn't even know you could uninvite people to I didn't think there was invitations to a funeral either. Like, I mean, I guess if it's a private thing, that's one thing, but like, usually you put an obituary out and then, anybody comes to it who's that person had an impact on, right? Like, that's the way I always thought it would go, or it's supposed to go. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So I wish I could have heard the discussion. I so wish I understood the circumstances of the why. Makes no sense. Yeah, it's all because um a big fat bully. Actually, there's many big bullies in the community, in my opinion. And I was bullied my whole life. And when I hear that condescending tone, or like someone gets like aggro first or has like an aggressive stance about them, I immediately back down. Like, I got yelled at constantly in my life. So if anybody's volume goes up or I feel like they're yelling, I'm just like immediately like kind of frozen. Um yeah. Also, another point. Don't accuse people of doing fucking drugs when you don't know anything about them. Like, that's another shitty thing. Like, I grew up with a drug addict. I grew up with an alcoholic. That shit, like, you don't just say someone's an addict or say someone's doing coke. Hell, I have chronic sinusitis. My nose runs constantly. There's nothing I can do about that. So I'm constantly rubbing my nose. I'm always thinking like, oh God, someone's gonna think I'm a coke addict or something. One of my natural reactions is just to sniff a lot to like pull it back in, or like it's become one of my motor tics. So if you like, I don't know, are accusing people just because of like the way that they're moving their body, I don't know, it's just really gross. Especially if someone is just like not having a good time lately and don't want to like fix up their appearance, doesn't want to wear makeup, that person shouldn't be accused of doing drugs, doing coke, doing meth, doing whatever. Like, just stop. It's really shitty to do. And one really big bully, I feel, is the start of a lot of this. But I am not going to name names anymore because I do not want to be brought into anything. I'm literally just trying to be me on my channel and help people and be creative, and support people. Shannon Daughtery has a non-invitation list to her funeral. She can't come to her own funeral. Oh, Senator McCain said that Trump wasn't invited either. I mean, yeah, I guess you can do that. But I didn't know like uninviting people from a funeral was a thing. Chat can do a lot of harm. That too, yes. I'm usually Lara's only mod a lot of the time, and that was a very tough live to get through and try and keep. There was no way I could keep the chat civil, like at all. Like it just blew up to a point where I was like, I guess I can't do anything. And it really sucked, and I really wanted to just jump through the screen and hug both of them. I saw how frozen Liz was. I saw how hurt Lara was. I've seen that kind of hurt. I've been that kind of hurt. And people look at me like, oh, you're just being too sensitive. You're being too crazy. You're overreacting, being too dramatic. I don't know. When you feel something, like it's visceral. Like, why pick on how someone conducts themselves when they're hurt? If they're not being like destructive to themselves or other people, crying is not a bad thing to do. You shouldn't yell at people for having feelings and crying and being hurt. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. I just want to be cozy. And I don't want to pick sides. This is the thing. Side picking is just so detrimental to communities. And I feel like it can really put a damper on this community. Like, I know that people will still keep fighting Scientology, but this little insular community, to me, is like kind of blowing up or imploding. I don't know. Implode, then blow up. Yeah, mine too. I thought that boundaries were crossed and Liz would have been well in her rights to say, this is not the proper place and time for this. Yeah, yeah. And I think Liz is a lot like me, where I'm just like, oh shit, I'm panicking. I don't know what to say or what to do in this situation. And that's what I saw from Liz, was just panic. Um, and I do not fault her for not, controlling it more. That was a very difficult situation. I think everything was out of control. And Aaron was dictating the conversation. Don't like bullies, guys. Um, Especially when you say that some people are your friends and you got their back, but then you turn against them all of a sudden. I don't know, it just all feels gross, and I just want everybody to be happy and peaceful and just keep fighting this cult and other cults and fighting for their lives. That's it. I'm sad today and my morale is down. I saw a little bit of your live. I'm sorry you're feeling like that too. Yeah, that's it. Morale. My morale is down. I am feeling like I still have my own little corner that I have a little control. That's all I can control is my little corner. Hi, John. John, I don't know if you got my text yet this morning in the group text. Because I think you and I need to have a discussion about a few things. I just want to know where your head's at too. Um, but yeah, like one of the things is like asking questions and finding all information too seems to get shut down a lot. Like, why ask questions? Why can't you just take things at face value? And that's what I did most of my life, and I got burnt a lot from taking people at face value. And so, yeah, I mean, when someone's like coming at you, you do have to take face value a little bit, but I guess it is up to us, individually to ask the appropriate questions we want answers to get the most information to make a decision about something. And it's taken me a long time with therapy and my autism to kind of be a little bit more aware, because I've always asked questions. And then I got to the point where like it was so wrong for me to ask questions that I just stopped. And I've been told that I'm nosy. So then when I don't know like basic information about even my friends, people are like, "What? You didn't ask them that?" And I'm like, "No, I just waited for them to tell me." Like it's always been a struggle of like, am I pushy? Am I too nosy? But I like to know things. I like to ask questions, especially if there's like drama or a hard thing where people are like, you must pick a side. It's like, no, I need to gather all the facts. Please give me what is your point? What is your point? And then that way I can like sit with it. And again, we don't have to take sides in anything. Nobody has to take sides. I think it's actually kind of dangerous sometimes to do the side picking because then you are drawing lines in the sand, black and white, which I've had to do that before. Sometimes situations warrant black and white cutting off, but for the most part, compromise really needs to happen in order for things and people to work together. You need a compromise. And one of the things that has always been hard for me is I do take people at face value when they say they care about me. But then they'll say or do something and it might just be in my head. But then I start thinking, oh shit, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Does this person not like me now? Am I not serving this person? So yeah, social interaction is really difficult for me sometimes because if you tell me you care about me and you're going to be there for me, I'm going to be there for you. And then if I feel like it's just one-sided, then I feel like I've been lied to. Relationships can't be one-sided. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's all my thoughts. They're probably all jumbled. All my thoughts are jumbled in my head all the time. I don't know if I correctly articulated any of my thoughts today, but these are just some of the things that I've been processing and mulling over. Um, and I've been trying to get away from YouTube a little bit, just so I have a little bit of a break mentally from like just people talking at me through a screen, and actually trying to like go watch TV or play a video game or something. I'm also autistic. People weaponize our need for clarity against us. Yes, they do. Oh my God. Like certain situations, when you start asking for questions, people are like, why do you need to know? Why can't you just take my word for it? I don't know, because I need to know things. For me to properly feel comfortable at making an opinion, I want to know things. I mean, yeah, of course, we all can make shorthanded opinions about things until we have more information. I'm not saying like we should never have an opinion until we have completely all the facts, whatever. But the way we should work is gather more information. Let your opinions change if they need to. Like, we shouldn't be very rigid in our thinking, which I've been most of my life, and I've kind of learned how to not be as rigid. Like, I have to not physically, but I have to like really put myself in someone else's shoes, because autistic people, we are called like selfish because honestly sometimes we cannot understand what someone else's motivations are, because we're like, but I think this way. I can't wrap my head around why you think that way, so your way is wrong. That's how I was called a bitch. I was selfish, I was rude, mean. um I've even been called sociopathic in my life. It just takes a lot of like awareness, really. Yes, my brain needs context. Give me context. I need specifics. So, like, if someone comes up to me and is like, "What's up?" Nah, nothing. Or everything? I don't know. What's up with what? Like, give me an actual specific question to answer on the what's up. Like, what's up with my hair? What's up with my life? What's up with, I don't know. I need more. And I'm actually going to hopefully do a live soon where I talk about some studies out of the neuroscience world talking about autistic brains and the fact that we probably have, or actually, I think they've discovered we have more synapses than a neurotypical, which means we have, I guess, more pathways to come to a logical conclusion, and it's hard for our brains to get through those pathways without additional information, if that makes sense. I'm still learning a lot about autism, and I want to work with autistic children. I work with a few autistic children, and I know how I work, but I need to know more about autism in general so I know how to work with the children who have their individual needs. So it's been a lot of fun researching and learning more about myself, about autism, about the autistic brain, about how neurodivergent brains work. There's still so much about the brain that we don't know, which is so freaking fascinating to me. Um, yeah, so I definitely want to do, and if any other autistic people want to come on and like we can discuss our autism and discuss our autistic lives and how we grew up, when we got diagnosed, if we got diagnosed, all that fun stuff. So if you ever leave me a comment on one of my videos saying you want to come on a live with me and discuss things, I will get back to you. Just leave me like your best contact. Also, why can't I put, can I not make a comment in here in my own thingy? The question is fine, but I disagree with the labeling of people and choosing sides. If you don't choose a side, you choose a side. It's this connection without the label. I kind of get you, but that's why I said in certain scenarios, I can see the choosing a side and drawing a line in the sand about things. But a lot of times, not everybody needs to choose a side in a situation. Like, we can, I don't know, I feel like I'm not really articulating my thoughts properly enough. Like, if it doesn't really involve me, I don't want to feel like I have to decide something right away or choose a side. especially when I don't have all the facts, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, obviously there are some scenarios where you need to choose a side, and not choosing sides means that I guess you've chosen a side. But um, I tend to want to be more diplomatic in things, and I just want people to be happy and get their needs met. Like, I care about human rights, I care about the planet. Um, I am very burnt out on politics. Um, I understand the stakes are very, very high right now, but it still doesn't, I still have a lot of like anxiety over politics right now after having Trump in office once. um, I don't know if I ever even want to get into like government politics on here, just because I mean, I have like my own individual like policies and things that I want to see happen and change. I don't want to like I like to pick candidates based off of like what if their interest is my interest. I like Jill Stein. I know a lot of people don't, but I really like Jill Stein, and I just really wish that we had um a system where it's not just a two-party system. Other people, progressives, Green Party, Libertarian, anybody can run on individual policies. That's what I would like to see, because I don't think it's fair that other candidates don't get as much money, because it is a lot harder. Um, and I think that it would make a race much more interesting if we did not have a two-party system. If there's a clear right and wrong in a situation, that's one thing. But if it's two people having an issue, it's personal opinion why choose a side. Yes, exactly. Like, I I have my own thoughts and opinions about some things, but I don't voice them just because if my opinion is not gonna like hold any weight, then I don't know. Is it does it matter? Like, some people don't listen to others even if they feel like they're in the right. Um, God, I have sorry, my brain is like a little broken at the moment. I feel like I'm not being very articulate with y'all, and I just have a lot of thoughts in my head, and I'm trying to get them out properly without being a dick or creating any extra nonsense. Um, I love people. I love my people. I hope that the people who have told me that they're going to be there for me stick by their word, because I have terrible rejection sensitivity. So that's another reason, like, if anybody tells me that they care and they're going to support me and stand up with me, like, I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you going to, like, just leave me like everybody else? Like, is this too good to be true? I don't know. But some people have proved me wrong lately about having faith in people to actually, you know, live by their word. Because I see too many people, I guess, um, do things for show, if that makes sense. Yeah. Um, kind of like, I don't even know what the word is. Words. What are words anymore? Um, can't even think of the thing that I'm thinking of. My brain just needs more caffeine. And that's where I'm gonna head. So thanks for listening to my 30-minute weird Friday morning rant. It's not even really a rant, it's just a jumble of thoughts over the last several days, week that I've had. I really want people to be loved and have peace and happiness, and I want fighting to stop, not just this in-group fighting, but like I wish all fighting would stop. The war, everything. But we can only do so much. Only so much is in our control. And yeah, we just have to move forward with our lives and hope that the people who are in control of things do the right thing. And if they don't, I mean, c'est la vie. We still have our lives, hopefully, and we can just have our little cozy corners like I do on this little internet here. I'm gonna go now before I just ramble more nonsense at you. Oh, I always forget where the camera is. Oh, the lens. I hate doing it because the camera is here. And so, there we go. That's in frame. All right. Oh, thank you, Hillary. Again, I'm sorry that I'm just rambling and being live. It's hard sometimes because my brain doesn't want to, my brain and my mouth don't connect. I'm thinking things, but my brain is like, nope, no sound, no sound. You cannot find words. Yeah, lovely brain fog. Frog? I have a brain frog? Brain fog. There we go. I will see you guys next time. Um, Sorry that we didn't do a Mama's Life podcast this week, and I didn't even tell anybody that we canceled it if you were waiting for that. Um, Mama has been having a wonderful time with her family, and I don't fault her any for being super tired and not wanting to chat for an hour on live yesterday. So I hope she has a lot of fun and gets a lot of rest so we can resume the podcast next week. So I'll talk to you later, John, as well, hopefully. And I'll talk to y'all, the rest of y'all, next time. Bye.